The sun hung low over the golden rice fields, casting a warm glow over the land. In a modest farmhouse at the edge of the fields, an aging couple lived a simple but content life. For years they had longed for a child, but fate had denied them. Then one fateful evening, they found a tiny, trembling creature near their doorstep, a baby weasel, abandoned and helpless. With hearts full of kindness, they took the creature in, nurturing it as if it were the child they never had. They fed him, cared for him, and over time the weasel became their constant companion. He followed them everywhere, his dark eyes brimming with devotion, his soft fur warm under their touch. Then, after years of waiting, a miracle happened. The couple was blessed with a child, a rosy-cheeked baby boy. Their hearts swelled with joy, but they never forgot the weasel, who had become a beloved part of their family. He would curl up beside the baby's crib, his presence a silent promise of protection. One afternoon, as the sun blazed in the sky, the couple left for the rice fields to tend to their crops, entrusting the baby's safety to the weasel. They had done so many times before, for they trusted him like a guardian. The farmhouse was quiet except for the gentle breaths of the sleeping infant. Hours passed, and when the couple returned, tired but eager to hold their child, they were met by an unsettling sight. The weasel was waiting at the doorstep, his white fur stained with crimson, his paws dripping with blood. His eyes, usually filled with warmth, now gleamed with something unreadable. The farmer froze, his breath catching in his throat. Terror surged through his veins, drowning out reason. His mind conjured the worst possibility. His beloved pet had attacked a baby. Without a second thought, he grabbed a shovel resting by the door, his hands trembling with fury and grief. With a choked cry, he swung it with all his might. The dull thud of metal against flesh echoed in the air. The weasel collapsed to the ground, motionless. The farmer's wife let out a horrified gasp as they rushed past the lifeless creature, their hearts pounding. They burst into the baby's room, expecting the worst. But there, in the dim light, their child lay unharmed, sleeping soundly in his crib. And beside the crib, sprawled across the wooden floor, was the remains of a massive black snake, its body torn apart, its fangs still glistening with venom. The farmer's knees buckled beneath him. A crushing wave of realization washed over him, drowning him in guilt. His weasel, his loyal, selfless companion, had not harmed his child. He had saved him. Frantic, the couple rushed back to the doorstep, hope flickering in their eyes. They knelt beside the weasel's still form, calling his name, pleading for him to wake. But the damage had been done. The weasel, their faithful friend, had given his life for the child he had loved like a sibling. Tears streamed down the farmer's weathered face as he cradled the lifeless body, his sobs breaking the silence of the afternoon. His wife wept beside him, her heart shattered. Regret burned through them both. If only they had trusted him. If only they had looked beyond what their eyes had seen. That evening, they buried the weasel beneath the old oak tree where he had once played. The stars blinked above them, silent witnesses to their grief. From that day forward, the farmer carried the weight of his mistake, a lesson carved into his very soul. Never judge by appearances alone. For in a single moment of doubt, he had destroyed the truest friend he had ever known.